women think that men are logically superior.
Yeah.
You don't think that?
No, I don't think most women think, oh, men are logically the best people, like logically superior than me. I think most women would say we're equal.
If I asked 100 women in general, would you prefer a male surgeon or a female surgeon? Most of them will probably elect with a man. If I asked a girl,
I mean, it's very convenient that you can just make up like, oh, if I ask 100 women or whatever, I'm sure they're going to agree with me. Like I could say the same thing and throw it back at you. I could ask 100 men.
I mean, here's the thing.
I'm sure they're going to agree with me.
But you got to use but here's the thing. This is where common sense comes in, and this is where this is why so many people from the left, I guess, don't have common sense
at all.
Most
You're saying
women,
your feelings. You're saying common sense is your feelings.
This is not my feelings. This is common sense understanding that when there's danger afoot or something critical needs to be done or there's a high pressure situation, they want the man there, not the woman. If the house is burning down, you don't want two feminists coming in that identify as they, them, coming in to pull you out. You want a toxically masculine guy drinking beers. You want him pulling you out the fire. When you're getting robbed, you don't want two feminists showing up that call themselves Susie and Kristen that identifies him, her, them,
when
and them.
I'm in a fire, I want firefighters.
A toxically masculine man.
I want law enforcement.
Okay, who do you
I don't
think
want
is
Wait, no, I have a question. I really do.
Hold on. My point is, when push comes to shove, life or death, it's a high pressure situation. Women almost always want men in this driver's seat taking care of the situation because why? Men are superior when it comes to operating under pressure. They're superior when it comes to dexterity. They're superior when it comes to decision making when it comes under pressure. This is why men dominate in video games, whereas there's no physical difference. Chess, etc. Men dominate women when it comes to deductive problem solving. It is a fact, and everything you see around the world nowadays was invented by a man that is more logically sound and rational.
Simple question. If those two girls that got kicked off the panel for being irrational and knocking on the door, if you had to go call the police because she started getting reckless, would you rather a female police officer come or a male police officer?
If they have a gun, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't matter to you?
No, not if they have a weapon on hand.
Would you rather have a male police officer come or a female police officer to come and handle the situation? Two drunk girls being obnoxious.
The gender of the law enforcement officer doesn't matter.
Okay, the rest of the girls.
A man.
Wait, hold on, stop real quick. If gender doesn't matter, then you know what? Why don't we have more women in the military? Because everyone has guns.
I didn't say gender didn't matter. I just said in this specific hypothetical.
No, I said in that specific circumstance, if a police officer comes here, that's very different than an entire military of people. And again, I never said
they have guns. The same shit. People would die. All right, so focus. All right, people would die in the military.
All things equal. Okay, let's say all things equal. Everyone has a gun. Do you want a male police officer to show up or a female police officer?
Man.
Do y'all know the percentage difference between male officers that pull out the guns and actually use it versus female?
That's not necessarily a good thing.
Please tell me, because you said if y'all had guns, it doesn't matter. So I just want to know. I just want to know. She brought it up, so I want to know.
This work shit is destroying the West.
Wait. No,
I don't want cops that are
She said if they have a gun, their gender doesn't matter.
The reason why I bring this up
to enforce the law, so long as they're an armed officer of the state and they have a gun. It doesn't matter if it's a female law enforcement officer or a male law enforcement officer. If that person came into the room, they have the command of this room.
No, they don't.
They have the back end.
Nobody respects a female police. What are you going to arrest me?
You would disrespect a female police officer with a gun, really?
100%. I'm running away.
Shit.
You're running away.
I got arrested by U.S. Marshals. You know who had to grab me?
To cap your ass. You're in the commission of a crime.
He just said he'd run away from her, so that kind of proves a point.
Ladies, you can't shoot a suspect from running away from you. You can't do that.
I mean, legally, you're not supposed to do that. Physically, of course, you're capable of doing that, right?
And women police officers are far more likely to pull a gun out and get involved in a shooting than a man because they're not as physically capable of dealing with the perpetrator.
Thank you.
Okay.
Clown world. I mean,
I don't even know if
you just argue to argue.
That's true. He is an HSI agent.
I used to work in law enforcement. Women are far more likely to pull out their guns because they're not as physically as capable as dealing with the perpetrator.
Right. We never disagreed on like how men are physically stronger or not. Like I'm not talking about physicality.
Yeah, you have an issue with the rationale.
No, what I have an issue with is that you guys keep saying like, oh, you see, like men are so much superior, et cetera, and yet you bring these
superior in certain things.
Okay, superior in logic, superior in. Can you list the?
I'm listening.
Okay, no, I was gonna say, can you make the list again?
Oh, okay. Logic,
decision making,
rationality, decision making.
Yeah, you're saying like you already demonstrated like the ways in which women are superior to men. You don't even find to be important.
No, they are important. It's just that you guys never asked.
No, but regardless of that, right? You're and then to prove your point, what you're doing is that you're using these exceptional circumstances to say, oh no, men in general are more logical, right? How often is your house burning down? How often is a police officer knocking on your door? Not very often, right? So to me, I think it's really weird to take like these exceptional circumstances and say, oh, that's proof that men on average are more
Okay,
logical.
hold on,
Stop. The reason why we have to use exceptional circumstances is to show you that men are exceptionally better than women at said circumstances.
Have you guys lived
That's
with a
why
man
we have to do it that way, because for you to understand that men are more rationally, logically, and deductively solved than women is because I had to give you these examples so you guys understand when it comes to life or death, what are you picking? I need to be able to get a clear-cut answer. So, men, here's the thing. I'm not saying women aren't capable. The problem is that you guys are listening, but you're not understanding. I'm not saying women aren't capable. I'm saying if I had the two options, the superior option is almost always the man when it comes to deductive problem solving, rationality, logic, and emotion.